Deportation is the expulsion of a person or group of people from a place or country. The term expulsion is often used as a synonym for deportation, though expulsion is more often used in the context of international law, while deportation is more used in national law. Forced displacement or forced migration of an individual or a group may be caused by deportation. For example, ethnic cleansing, and other reasons. A person who has been deported or is under sentence of deportation is called deportee. Definitions of deportation apply equally to nationals and foreigners. Nonetheless, in the common usage, the expulsion of foreign nationals is usually called deportation, whereas the expulsion of nationals is called extradition, banishment, exile, or penal transportation. For example, in the United States, strictly speaking, transportation, extradition, and deportation, although each has the effect of removing a person from the country, are different things, and have different purposes. Transportation is by way of punishment of one convicted of an offense against the laws of the country. Extradition is the surrender to another country of one accused of an offense against its laws, there to be tried, and, if found guilty, punished. Deportation is the removal of an alien out of the country, simply because his presence is deemed inconsistent with the public welfare and without any punishment being imposed or contemplated either under the laws of the country out of which he is sent or of those of the country to which he is taken. Expulsion is an act by a public authority to remove a person or persons against his or her will from the territory of that state. A successful expulsion of a person by a country is called a deportation. According to the European Court of Human Rights, collective expulsion is any measure compelling non-nationals, as a group, to leave a country, except where such a measure is taken on the basis of a reasonable and objective examination of the particular case of each individual non-national of the group. Mass expulsion may also occur when members of an ethnic group are sent out of a state regardless of nationality. Collective expulsion, or expulsion en masse, is prohibited by several instruments of international law. Deportations widely occurred in ancient history, and is well recorded particularly in ancient Mesopotamia. Deportation was practiced as a policy toward rebellious people in Achaemenid Empire. The precise legal status of the deportees is unclear, but ill treatment is not recorded. Instances include, unlike in the Achaemenid and Sasanian periods, records of deportation are rare during the Arsacid-Parthian period. One notable example was the deportation of the Murds in Charax, near Rajas by Phraates I. The 10,000 Roman prisoners of war after the Battle of Carrhae appear to have been deported to Alexandria Margina near the eastern border in 53 BC, who are said to married to local people. It is hypothesized that some of them founded the Chinese city of Lijin after becoming soldiers for the Xiongnu, but this is doubted. Hyrcanus II, the Jewish king of Judea, was settled among the Jews of Babylon in Parthia after being taken as captive by the Parthian Jewish forces in 40 BC. Roman POWs in the Antonese-Parthian War may have suffered deportation. Deportation was widely used by the Sasanians, especially during the wars with the Romans. During Shapur I's reign, the Romans, and Gundeshapur, agricultural land were also given to the deportees. These deportations initiated the spread Christianity in the Sasanian Empire. In Rue Ardashir, Persis, there was a church for the Romans and another one for Carmanians. Their hypothesized decisive role in the spread of Christianity in Persia and their major contribution to Persian economy has been recently criticized by Mossig Wahlberg. In the mid-3rd century, Greek-speaking deportees from northwestern Syria were settled in Kashgar, Mesopotamia. After the Arab incursion into Persia during Shapur II's reign, he scattered the defeated Arab tribes by deporting them to other regions. Some were deported to Bahrain and Kirman, possibly to both populate these unattractive regions and bringing the tribes under control. In 395 AD, 18,000 Roman populations of Sophene, Armenia, Mesopotamia, Syria, and Cappadocia were captured and deported by the Huns. The prisoners were freed by the Persians as they reached Persia, and were settled in Slok for his treatment of the deportees, who also allowed some to return. Major deportations occurred during the Anastasian War, including covered-eyes deportation of the populations of Theodosiopolis and Amida to Aragon. Major deportations occurred during the campaigns of Khosrau I from the Roman cities of Sura, Beroea, Antioch, Apamea, Callinicum, and Batnai in Osrene, to Were Antioch Khosrow. The city was founded near Ctesiphon especially for them, and Khosrow reportedly did everything in his power to make the residents